Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, Saltburn. Whoa, a lot of mixed emotions from me about watching this film right now. Here's why, right? So, I mean, Barry Keoghan is in it, who's phenomenal in anything he does. Like, I think of like a lot of different actors and like, you know, people who are really good at their craft. And I think sometimes I could hang out with some of them. I'm not sure if I could hang out with this guy. That doesn't mean he's not a good guy. I just think he's so all over the place. He's so talented. He can play anybody. So I like him a lot. And then Jacob Elordi, is that how you say his name? I think he was in Euphoria. He's been in a lot of different things. He's in this, right? So here's the thing. I was going to watch it the other night, actually last night, and I decided not to. I thought it was... I don't know much about it. Here's what the plot summary is. A student from Oxford finds himself drawn into the world of a charming, aristocratic classmate who invites him to his eccentric family's sprawling estate for a summer never to be forgotten. Alright, so some guy who goes to Oxford, gets in with this rich family, goes to their house for the summer. Right? Okay. So, awesome. Sounds kind of cool. And, you know, I'll check it out. But then, I was going to watch it last night. I told you I didn't. I watched Rebel Moon. I started talking to my daughter about this movie. She heard of it. Talked to a couple other people who didn't give me any insight. Nobody knows. But now TikTok is just blown. When I go on TikTok, it's all about Saltburn. There's point of view of, went to see Saltburn not knowing what to expect. And there's people like throwing up in a garbage can. There's podcasts about it. There's all this stuff going on about Saltburn. I can't watch it because I don't want to know anything about it. The one thing that I did hear, which I found interesting, it's the same, I believe, director of the Killing of a Sacred Deer movie. I was like, I saw that movie. Although I have no idea. You know, I don't remember the movie, to be honest with you. I know Barry Keoghan was in it, if I'm saying his name correctly. I know he was in it, but I don't remember it. So I looked, I gave it an 8. I gave that movie an 8. I watched it 2 years ago. That's when the review came out on Kimmel's Irish Pub. So check that out if you want. If I was smart enough, I'd put like a little thing that makes sense. Click here, but I probably won't. But you can just find it on my channel. So evidently I really like that movie. So it reinvigorated my desire to watch this movie. So here we go. Stick around. I'll let you know. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of Saltburn, and I have to say, I have to look up the director's name, right? Like I even said at the beginning of this, was like, it was the one director, excuse me, who did the Killing of a Sacred Deer, right? But he does a phenomenal job. He's done other things as well. Whatever his name is, I just gotta get it. Sorry. Emerald Fennelly, and he's also the writer, right? And he does a great job. I think both of those movies, and I'm sure I saw the ones that had him in it, he does a fantastic job. Like, he's one of those directors who make you feel what he wants you to feel in the moment. Barry Keoghan, again, not sure if I'm saying his name right, but I don't know if he'll ever win an Oscar. And that doesn't matter to me. I don't think that's the most important thing in the world. But I think he is one of the best actors I think I've ever seen. I mean, like, you know, and maybe I'm judging it on the weirdness of the roles that he plays. But in this one, he does it phenomenally. And just for that, watch this movie. If you've ever seen him in anything else, which he's been in a lot of things, and, you know, he's always normally like a side character, never the lead so much. In this one, he's the lead. He's the whole thing. And back to the story itself. Kind of explain what it is. He is like the outsider who meets this rich friend who kind of, like, they kind of have a crush on each other kind of thing, but nothing ever goes forward with that, you know what I mean? It's not like that. It's more of a friendship, but he invites him out to his estate, which is a huge castle, which is called Saltburn. You know, it's this huge, whatever, these rich people, and they have this huge thing, right? So he gets invited out there, and, you know, he seems like he's like under the radar, but he's, you know, doing other things that are like, you know, a little spicy, if you will. And then it, you know, so it's all that kind of stuff. It's like he's not the guy he's saying he is, but it's coming out a little bits and little bits here and there kind of thing. And then it all comes to a big head at the end. And not that you don't see it coming, but it's pretty cool. I mean, not pretty cool, but I liked it. You know, I like what they did. I felt like my one draw on it is it felt long. It felt like it lasted a long time. You know, I wanted to get to stuff. You know, and people were saying, like, unfortunately, because I say the words out loud, TikTok, they'll pick up on it and they'll show me TikToks, and I'm watching, oh, the bathtub scene, you know, whatever. And like these other things, it's like, nothing like I thought it was gonna be. Like, it's not normal, don't get me wrong, but it didn't like make me want to turn it off, kind of thing. So I do have to say one thing. I do think it's great. I think these are the type of people, the directors, the writers, who happen to be the same people who stretch the boundaries and do all these different kinds of things just for entertainment. So don't take it seriously. Don't go into this and think, oh my goodness, you know. Just I think about it from the creativity standpoint. You know, it's new to me. It's the originality. You know, it's not something that's a lot of times like I just watched Rebel Moon. That's just a Star Wars movie. Like, people have done that. I get it. You know, good movie. I enjoyed it, but it's just a copy of something else. This is not. This is something different. So I like it for that, and I like it to stretch the boundaries and be weird to a certain point. And that's what you get here. Oh yeah, Superbad. There was. I was just looking at the credits, and there was a shot of Superbad in there, and I thought that was cool. So I have to do a spoiler alert really quick. So if you haven't seen it yet, check it out. I'm not gonna ruin the ending, and it's really not gonna. I don't know, but spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Right. So I get, like, I'm thinking to myself, motivation for this guy, right? For Barry Keoghan's character. Like, what is his he's got a good family life. He's in Oxford, right? He's going to make something of himself. Does he really need to do what he did in order to take over Saltburn? Right? So that's like, really? Come on. And then, okay, he does. Now, and maybe, I guess people like that might be built different. For me, like, you want to have that kind of castle, you know, no pun intended, but somebody to share it with. Like, could you imagine having that whole thing just to yourself? No. You want to have people to share it with, you know, spouse, whatever it is. Doesn't matter, you know. You don't want to be alone in this huge place, right? That's why I have you guys. So that was the only thing it's the only other thing. It felt like it was a little bit longer than maybe it needed to be, but I think it kind of works with this one. The dryness of it, the slow pace, but in the end, it works out. So, alright, that's it. That's why I wanted to share that extra spoiler with you. Not a spoiler, but you know what I mean? Alright, thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.